So as I was saying there, so my name is Drew Lander. I'm the general manager of the Sunnyslope Water District, and it's Sunnyslope County Water District, but people often ask me where Sunnyslope County is. And we're a special district within the county of San Benito, so here in Hollister. The district's been around for, well, since the 1950s, and we are a little bit special because we are both a water and a wastewater public utility. We provide water service to the city of Hollister and the county surrounding area, as well as we provide wastewater services to a smaller group within Hollister. So go ahead and advance that slide for me. So to tell you a little bit more about what we do, we have a collection system, which is a sewer collection, and we have a very small, in comparison to other cities, we have a very small wastewater treatment plant. It's called an SBR, which is a sequencing batch reactor. So it processes through the day the wastewater in different batches. We also have two water treatment facilities which we operate for the county of San Benito. One is a powdered activated carbon water treatment facility. The other is a MEMCOR treatment facility. So we have a lot of specialties here. So it's not just well, I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of skill and talent that goes into the employees that we have working here. So with our collections and our wastewater and our water treatment plants, we also maintain 85 miles of water distribution lines, and we have 5 treated water production wells. So we also have, in fact, the wells were the original water source for the area. The treated water facilities treat surface water coming from San Luis Reservoir. It's a much higher quality water. And we do all this with 23 full-time employees. So we have employees that have lots of certifications. If we can jump to the next slide there. What I want to point out, and this is just an example of wastewater, but water is the same way, is I think it is really important for young people, especially, to think about water and wastewater as a profession, because wastewater operators, this is an example, comes from CWEA, who is they're a California Wastewater Association. And they were pointing out in this slide that there's very few young people currently in wastewater operations. This is in California, but as the population ages, people retire, and that leaves us with a void. So there's a big future need. It's a little like medical, like nurses and services like that, that it's important to note that both the water and the wastewater graphs, when talking about age statistics, they're the same way. There are more people that will be retiring in the next few years than there will be entering into the profession. And so I really want to emphasize that if you're looking for a job where there is going to be demand, water and wastewater operators are really there. That's a good something I want you to take away from this. If we could jump to the next slide there. So here in our district, it's really important. What we're looking for in education and certifications, for Sunnyslope, is you need to have math and science aptitude. There is chemistry and biology involved, but it really is something that you learn over a lifetime. I think the previous presentation, I saw the end of there, Valley Water, their internships, they were pointing out that they're willing to train. we do the same thing. In most water and wastewater facilities, we will bring people in at all different levels. I'm giving you an example here on certifications. This is currently what our operators have, and the chart on the right. There are state certifications for water treatment and water distribution and wastewater treatment. And then the CWEA is a certification program, a state recognized certification program. And we have collections, we have mechanical, we have laboratory, all of these different trainings. So I've listed the number of employees that have those certifications. So I have operators that have multiple certifications. They are registered as treatment operators or as distribution operators. Many of our wastewater operators are also certified as water operators. At larger facilities, you will find that they may specialize a little bit more. Here, we really pride ourselves on having a lot of cross training. And what makes that really great is that it really makes your job more interesting, because we put people through rotation. You may start on the wastewater side. You may start, working in the collections system. What that entails is, of course, is maintaining our pump stations, we have electrical, we have communications, we have just in the field work. Sometimes it's labor intensive, sometimes it's not. We have at the wastewater treatment plants, it's very a lot of biology, a lot of chemistry happening there, more office work, but also field work, and we look for people who are mechanically inclined, because you have to know what is making how the machinery works to make things go. But then on our distribution is there's a lot of regulation. There's a lot of chemistry involved with that. And then our water treatment operators, the same thing. We have a lot of important things that we do at all these facilities to maintain state regulations. So as was mentioned in the previous presentation, is that no one's going to just let you go no one's going to set you loose to just go do whatever. We have a lot of regulations. And so we are very interested in training. What we look for in hiring is people that really do have an interest in life learning. It's not something you just, get a 4-year degree or whatever and you're done. You begin and you do training throughout your career to continue to stay up to date on what is happening. Computer technology is getting more and more advanced, and we're bringing more of that into what we do. So that's more important to us. Having construction skills or mechanical skills are definitely a bonus for the things we do. Teamwork is really important, because we do cross-train and we do work together. And I do have to say, I've really enjoyed working here at Sunnyslope. The people here really do work together, and they're great. And environmental safety, if you're interested in the environment and interested in protecting our water resources, this is a great place to be, in water and wastewater resources. And then we have and do perform workplace hazard assessments. So we are really committed to keeping our employees safe. This is something, in years past, in public utilities especially, it was just kind of get the work done. But we really upped our game in making sure that we have the right equipment to accomplish the jobs that we need to accomplish. And as I mentioned, district training is a big part of that. And so if we jump to the next slide there, I'll talk a little bit about what the employment opportunities that we have are. So as I mentioned, there is an aging workforce. We have a rotation of people. We have employees that will be retiring, and as we do that, we do have a succession plan. We're willing to bring people in from the bottom and train you up for us, it is really important. We do look forward to having employees who are interested in not just on the job training, but coupling their on the job training with really college classes and professional training. The water and wastewater programs that are out there are really important to kind of supplement or get you really focused on what is done for your job in the in the real world, I guess I'll say. But with increased regulations and the increasing level of service that is required for water wastewater agencies, these jobs are just getting more and more important for the community. I would like to point out that, of course, during COVID, during these, during any downturn in the economy, we're continuing to work. We don't have an off day. You can't just shut the plants down and say no water today or no wastewater treatment today. Our plants run 24/7. We operate all the time. So it is a great place to be for knowing that you have a stable job. So sustainable water technologies, I put that up there, that is somewhere where training and education is really important. Getting environmental focus, your biologies, your environmental sciences are really important. I put community service up there because really we do provide a community service. It isn't, you get paid for it, it's a job, but you are working for the community. It's not we are not a private agency. Every dollar that we collect from the public in order to provide them a service. So it's really important that we do our job well, we do it cost effectively. All of those concepts or thinking in that way is what we look for in employees that we hire. If you're looking for just a job, we're not just a job. Water and wastewater technologies or employment should be much more than a job, because you really are sustaining life in the community. I point out all the time to my own employees as well as others is that there really isn't a major city, town or city in the nation that would be worth anything without its water and wastewater services. If we don't provide water, no one can live in a city. If we don't provide wastewater service, no one can live in that city. And so it really is providing those services, but we have good benefits, we have good opportunity. And as I said, you are an essential workforce, so you can guarantee that you'll be coming to work. But just like police and fire, you also recognize that when there's an emergency, you are on the clock. You check on your family, you make sure that they're okay, and then you have to respond. We don't get to shut down. During COVID, there were some instances where employees not in our facility, but in some larger facilities said, "Oh, we're not going to come in." And the state had to step in and say, "No, you will come to work because you are an essential workforce and you will make this happen." So if you are mechanically inclined, electrically inclined, you like laboratory work, you like working in groups and doing operations, you have critical thinking capability, you're safety oriented, then all of those things are what water and wastewater technologies are. It is not just an office job. You work outside, you work inside. There's lots of things to do in what we're doing. So if we could go to the next slide real quick. So a couple of things that we are looking at trying to do, and especially now as we're coming back open to the public, we are reaching out. We intend to work with the San Benito Workforce Development Program as well as with Gavilan and other local groups to really develop some programs. We'd like to bring in individuals. Like I said, with water and wastewater, as I mentioned, certifications are really the important ticket. that if you do get hired, you have to achieve certain certifications, which is testing at a state level in order to keep those jobs. And so having internships are important. But we do the training. We bring you in, we do training. You have to do, study on your own. We encourage you to take classes on your own. But if you do those things, like I said, we pay for company training. We pay for some college classes through our educational assistance program. So we want you to get that education. And then we continue to do professional growth training throughout your career. So because we do that, there is a potential in water and wastewater industry. If you get into that place, one, it is specialized training. So once you are in the program and you're doing well, you can go to any water and wastewater facility nationwide, really. I mean, California, if you get your California certifications, it really opens the doors, because without those certifications or without going down that path, you have the opportunity to get jobs that other people can't get. But as I mentioned, the professional growth, we're looking to educate you and train you throughout your career. So it values us to keep you. We want to keep employees and keep them for a long time. You can get into this training without spending a lot of money. It's not like you have to go to college and spend $100,000 to get a degree. You can jump in here and work and get paid to go to school, throughout your life in your training. So it is a very advantageous, in my mind, a very, very advantageous way to go about your professional development, because you can jump in and not end up with a bunch of debt. So if we go to the last slide there, my last slide, I want to point out that what we do is we really do provide a public service, and it's recession-proof employment. That we will be there. The only thing, of course, that that would tear apart a water wastewater facility is doing our job wrong. And there's been in the news over the last several years, places where that has happened. And if you do your job wrong, then yes, you can do a lot of damage. But we have very highly trained people and very dedicated people. And so that's what we're looking for when we go out looking for new employees, is that, and as I mentioned, I really enjoy working here at Sunnyslope. We're in a great location. Being in Hollister is a very cost-effective place to live. We pay very well especially for being here. And if you live in Hollister or live in the surrounding communities, you don't commute into the cities where you're sitting in traffic or driving long hours or any of that. You can commute out of the cities and drive without having the traffic. But it is community critical service that you can be proud of. It's a job. I know all the employees here really are proud of the work that they do in serving the community. You protect the environment. We are essential in protecting the environment and protecting our water supply. As I mentioned, having local employment or being able to actually afford to live in the community where you work is just really phenomenal. It's really exceptional for being here. And I want to really emphasize that on-the-job training, and coupled with traditional education, really will help you advance and make you valuable, not just here, but any water or wastewater facility throughout California. And I know that to be true. I'm an engineer, but I started my career in engineering, and when I transitioned to really focus on water wastewater, I realized how valuable it was, and I'm glad to be in this, this type of work, this work path, I guess. So with that, my last slide there is any questions. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Looks like there's a question in the Q&A.
Okay.
Does Sunnyslope have any job openings now or hiring in the future?
Sure. Yes. So we currently don't have anything posted, but we do have some positions coming available. So on the water wastewater side, we will have some entry level jobs that we'll be looking to fill probably within the next few months, I would say. So depending on how those come about, they could be as I think we probably will open them up as OIT, which is an operator in training, or if there's somebody with either an operator one or a wastewater or water one position, that's probably where we're going to open those. And that's a great place. Like I said, it's a great place to start if you're starting a career. And we also will be doing some office hiring as well. We have some office positions that probably will be opening up fairly soon. So yes, I would say keep an eye on our website, keep an eye open for those. I don't have anything posted yet. Just like I said, with COVID, we're waiting on trying to get everything situated so we can open the office again and have people coming back into the office. But yeah, with the office position, it is going to be kind of a public relations type of position. So.
Looks like there's another question. Does the mussel problem affect the water?
Oh, sure. So he or she or he, I guess, Robert, you're asking about the zebra mussels. So zebra mussels are in the San Justo Reservoir. And yes, they do affect, they don't affect our water issue. They affect how we treat the water and how we operate the water. So the county manages, the San Benito County Water District manages the reservoirs. When we transfer water from San Luis Reservoir to San Justo Reservoir, they do have to manage the level of that water, and they have to manage the oxygen content of that water so they can keep the mussels from migrating out through the pipes or in any way. Well, the way we deal with that is we maintain a very low oxygen level in the reservoir. The reason the reservoir has been closed to the public for many years is because they don't want anybody essentially splashing around or stirring up the water in any way, because that increases the oxygen content. And they don't want anybody putting a boat or something in the water and then transferring the zebra mussels to another water body. When we take water or pull water from San Justo Reservoir and treat it, it is more complicated, chemically complicated, chemistry-wise, to deal with that, and but it does not affect the taste of the water. It does not affect anything else besides how we treat it. So we're maintaining the mussels inside that lake, and it would be nice to eradicate that problem, but based on costs, it's just as cost effective for us to manage it the way we're managing it. So, any other questions?
Are new employees assigned to a mentor?
Yes, so we do have we do have groups. Essentially, if you are assigned to a group, we have water and wastewater leads, and those individuals would be definitely your go-to person for getting answers and helping. We have internal training classes that we do, and when operators are planning to go take an exam, not only will we send you to training, but we do classes in-house. I know Jose Rodriguez is our water wastewater superintendent, and he holds classes, and he does some training in-house to make sure that we're on board, or that you're on board with what's going on before you go take an exam. So we also have morning and weekly meetings where any questions that come up during our operation or any changes in what we do are discussed. So there's constant learning. So we don't, once again, we don't set you loose to just go do whatever. We have a lot of communication, and that's what I really do like about working here particularly is we have really fostered that discussion and maintain those groups. Anything
All
else?
right, thank you, Drew. I actually have a question
Okay.
about the certification exams. I know they were kind of put on hold because of COVID. Are those back up and being offered on a regular basis?
Well, yes and no. Yes, they are being offered. You still have to get. They're not quite as available as they used to be. However, they are electronic now. Most of the exams are all electronic. So once you've qualified, they send you to an exam or testing facility to take most of those. So the state has really been struggling with that at first, but I feel pretty good that they're in a position where, yes, the certifications are going to be more available, and it won't hold people up. It did at the beginning of COVID. It held people up from advancing, but I think we're